Okay, I'm going to put together a Penn 525. This is entirely brand new. Every single piece is brand new from Penn. First thing I did was take this bearing out of here and press in a new bearing. They come with ABEC 1, and I believe they are chrome balls. And every time I found a problem with one of these reels, feeling a little bit rough, I found the balls to be chipped or rusted. So there's stainless steel ABEC 7s in there right now. And now let me get a little light. Okay. Now, with the new frame, you have to put the post in it. And the way you do that is you simply and you want them flush. And there they are. Okay. Next step, we're going to put now I polish everything. Don't really have to, but I do. And here are the pieces. Stainless are polished, they look like chrome. The brass and bronze are polished, they look like gold. And what that does, keeps the corrosion away, and it makes them slide easier. It just very slightly increases the performance. If you ever had one of these in salt water and you put it away with a drop of salt water, you come back, there is green growing, and it actually eats into all the bronze or brass parts. Okay, so I'm going to get this moving as fast as I can. I'm going to do as little talking as possible. Even the screws are brand new. Everything. Every part. And I will tell you what it costs. You have to get some of these parts from the United States. You can get them from Penn, directly out of Philadelphia, or their authorized suppliers, which will have some parts in inventory that Penn no longer even has in their supplies. Some of these parts are obsolete. Now these screws that I'm putting in here are critical. You never ever want to over tighten these things. And the bigger and longer the screwdriver, the more torque you have, so you have to be careful. You just put them in so you feel them snug. End of story. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is start putting on the pieces. I'm going to use some Penn grease around this particular area, because if it takes a dunk, you want to try and seal out the sand, because taking that bearing off the bottom there, it's not hard. Cleaning it is, and then pressing grease back into it is very difficult. Okay, where's my okay. This is the brand new drag washer. These stainless steel washers here, they've been flattened. It's a painstaking process, but it's really worth it. I haven't been mathematically able to figure out every single one of those things are stamped, which means they are coned slightly. And if you put them in out of order, like one cone up, one cone down, you're really, really limiting the amount of surface area that you can make contact with. Okay, enough of that. Now we're going to put a little bit of grease now. I take these apart. This is going to be my own reel. I have a twin to this that's on eBay for sale. People are afraid of the price, but it costs $450 to buy all the parts separate. And that's just to buy the parts. And that's just a fact of life. Again, this is brand new. You put some grease in there. I use a anti-corrosive grease, anti-corrosive oil, and this stuff here is great, but it comes rushing out of here. So you want to put it on with a paintbrush. Okay. Now we're going to put the pinion gear in place. Sometimes this happens and you have to put it through. There it goes. Have to put it in the right way. This has been polished and deburred. These are polished and deburred. I even polished the little springs. Why do I do that? Only when you're trying to hurry do things jam up on you. Okay. And that's how that goes on. And you put these springs in there. And these springs are brand new, and they serve a function to keep the pinion into the gear. And then this plate here, now I'm going to brush these with anti-corrosive because I don't want. Now, like I said, I take these things apart frequently, so I could easily repolish everything, but I prefer to have them protected. Reels that I sell and send out, I do this with Reel-X or grease, depends. If I know the guy's a fisherman, he gets grease. He's a surf caster and he needs long distance. And that's that. Now we're going to put the eccentric and the spring. I even polished the spring. And the reason I do some of this stuff is simply because I know how and I can. And I think anybody wanting to pay top dollar for something like this would appreciate the extra work that goes into this. I don't know that anybody does this kind of work. I know that builders and tuners and service guys, I know they love the greases and lubes, and you'll get a reel back, which I did once. It had 2 tablespoons of green grease, blue-green grease in it, and that was kind of interesting to me. But they were just doing their job, really. They don't know what you're going to do with the darn reel, and if you're going to dunk it in the surf, which is a kiss of death for any reel. Where I fish in New Jersey, the sand is so fine, one dunk, and there's sand in the bearings, and I got to take them out, do an ultrasonic cleaning. For my own reels, I like to take the shields off so I can do it better. Putting these things back together can be a real pain in the butt. And like I say, it's only when you're in a hurry, just something go with a little bit of glitch to it. Come on, sucker, get in there. Alright, in about 2 seconds this is going out the window. Should have been that easy the first time around. Okay. Time out.